Oh hi, yeah, I've played a really great horror game. You guys know I'm a big horror fan, and there's this game called Norwood Hitchhike or something. Uh, and it's a series called Fears to Fathom, and you can write your own like creepypasta urban legend stories to them. I already wrote them a little bit. I also wrote an alien story to another similar concept. Uh, but Yeah, I wrote them a couple of times, and but I just want to say what I find. There's a lot of things I find very fascinating and interesting about this concept. Um, I've been watching some horror games played by this guy called Hollow, who is he's playing a lot of horror games. There's some really great ones, also there was what was called something like convenience or something, where you're in this cabin and it's just really scary. And there was this, I remember this dream where you're like walking around in the snow. But what I wanted to talk about is the Norwood Massacre, because it's completely exploding on YouTube as well. If you search Fears to Fathom, it's just unbelievable. Like how much attention it gets. I don't know who the creator is, but what I'm wondering about some stuff. Firstly, I don't think Home Alone, the first one, was as good as the second one. Uh, which I don't see anyone pointing out really. They're just like, yeah, they're both very good. It's not bad or anything, the first one, but the second one is just so much better. Uh, uh, the Norwood, let's just call it the Norwood Hitchhike. Uh, but if you search Fears to Fathom Part 2, it comes up. Uh, so it's just really great. I would say it's probably the best horror game I've ever seen, and I played a lot of like old retro. I used to have a PlayStation 2 and a PlayStation 3, and my gaming it goes way back to the Commodore 64 and arcade games. And played a lot of great horror games, but not now. I mostly just watch them on YouTube. And seriously, this is the greatest. I'm not kidding. This is the greatest horror game I've ever seen. It just absolutely nails the experience of like driving around in America in an American road. And the story is so good. It's such a great creepypasta urban legend. At one point, she gets to what do you call it in English? Stat oil, to fill up gas, gas station. And then this guy is like, yeah, there's this female hitchhiker who is a ghost uh, down by the bridge. That is like, and I didn't hear anyone pointing that out, but couldn't that be who we are? We are the ghost because we're the same age as her, and the accident happens by the bridge. So it's just super creepy. I love America, and this game just gives me the chance to just you know, experience driving in the American night. It's so good. I know it sounds ridiculous what I'm saying, but it really comes from a genuine horror fan. I really really love the horror genre. That's both comic books, movies, games, stories, whatever horror related. Even non-fictional horror, just as long as it's not in bad taste, in poor taste, or undignified or something, or you know what I mean. But uh, and I finished watching Creepshow 2, also very interesting. They remade. It turns out they remade both the first and the second, 2011 or 2013. They made two remakes. A remake of a part two. I mean, come on. But anyway, and the originals are from 1985 and 1988. Uh, with this iconic character, Charlie Brewster. You know, you're so cool, Brewster. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really, I hope like maybe some guys who are into Norwood hitchhike, uh, will comment on this. I think I already more or less I already checked out all the Easter eggs and like hidden themes and but the story is so great as well. Uh, well, there are some like glitches in the game, like where you can go into a room, then you just go around and this guy is in there, but there's no interaction, so it's like you're not even there. And yeah, good sound effects as well. She's listening to this music in the car, and I'm not a big fan of that, but it's realistic, you know, for a 19-year-old woman today to listen to that and gives a pretty good atmosphere and then there are like these text messages she's texting with her mother and father and with somebody called Aiden, which I guess is I don't know if that's a female name or a male name, but it's a friend. They're talking about like skateboarding, and she has a skateboard in the back of the car, and yeah, I don't want to spoil the story, but there's some like Easter eggs, like where you can see a bear. If you walk out of the car at the before the bridge, you can see a bear passing by, and I saw a rabbit passing by. I was the first to comment on that. Uh, but the dialogue in the gas station is so good. I mean, it's just so hilarious that this guy behind the counter he's telling these horror stories just like for no reason, but it's so funny. But like there's this Norwood monster that hangs people upside down, and then he mentions the bridge, and then we come to the bridge. So it's really good, great storytelling and then foreshadowing. And then somebody put up some logs like to block the road. and that's some guys who are stalking us. And then later at the motel we get attacked, or she gets attacked. Uh, uh, Obviously with these kind of creepy past, they are. It's hard to tell if it's imagination or if it's an accurate account of something that actually happened. But anyway, the reason I made this video is just that I think it's how about that idea that she is the ghost. I think she's called Mindy or something. That she is the ghost. So this guy who picks her up, he's actually picking up a ghost. And maybe she's like reliving her. So it turns out she didn't really die in an accident, but it turns out she's reliving her, her murder uh, that happened on prom night allegedly, which could fit with a 19-year-old, right? So she's the same age as, and she doesn't appear. The ghost doesn't appear. So, and also at one point she says there are monsters and they're just like you and me. So it's like, yeah, it has some great characters. It only has like one. Let me count: one, two. Guide the guess. That's three, four. It only has five characters. That's the female lead and four others, and then and the mother and father and Aiden. Okay, so that's seven or eight actually. So I mean, uh, but the atmosphere is just it's so great. Uh, uh, yeah. Yeah, obviously I'm looking forward to part three. This is really part three of the Fears to Fathom. I don't know when that comes out, but I'm certainly going to send in some stories mm, to that email account. So we'll see if they make a game out of my horror story. The email is fears to fathom stories at gmail.com.